Yeah. So you're absolutely right. The biggest barrier to entry here is the amount of work that's required on that agent's side. So, at a high level, what that looks like, if you're interested in moving forward, you're filling out an application link that comes into my team here at our headquarters in St. Louis. We'll review that and make sure that we're good to move forward. And then essentially from there, we're scheduling what we call as a welcome call. And that welcome call really is to walk through the process from start to finish. A lot of what I'm talking about right now, but also, talk through expectations, answer questions they have, as well as go over any resources that we have available to you, as well as additional resources that could be purchased to help you complete your pre-licensing education, to help you better prepare for the final exam.
Because the management and transparency is what's very important. So once you submit a referral, you're going to have your own Home Advantage account, and it's going to tell you where everything sits. So if you have 10 referrals that you've sent into the network, it's going to give you all 10 referrals. It's going to tell you every milestone that client is sitting in, whether they're touring homes, whether they're in escrow. And you now can manage through the Home Advantage application as far as what your pipeline looks like for the referrals that you've sent. And so it's pretty sophisticated, and it's all click of a button, guys.
What is up, LabCoatAgents? We've got a new one for you today. Slightly different anyway. For some of you, you may or may not have heard about this, or you may have heard some variation of this. And that is, as a real estate agent, there are vehicles that allow you to get your mortgage license and earn revenue on your transactions. And as we are kind of living in this world of challenging times where business is very difficult to come by, we thought it would be a good idea to share with you another potential option. And so we brought on an expert who actually runs this department for USA Mortgage, Devin Glenn. The platform is called Illumine, and we're going to let him kind of walk us through that today. I brought my trusty partner along to ask some very intelligent questions. That's why he's here. Shawn Kerley, you guys know him from the National Real Estate Post. So Devin, welcome. Tell us about this Illumine and how it's legal and how agents can take advantage of this potentially and create another revenue stream.
Yeah, fantastic. Appreciate the opportunity here. So we put together a system here that really invites you as our real estate partner to become duly licensed, to join our team and assist with the front-end mortgage experience for your home buyers. We think that really kind of puts you in a unique situation or a unique position when it comes to enhancing the experience and the customer service that you're able to provide to your clients. It also adds to your depth in terms of your sphere of influence, and it can really put that client in a better position when it comes to the transaction, because you're now closer, being on the lending side, to knowing what's going on with that pre-approval, with that loan. So, as far as how it's legal, part of what I just said there, you're becoming a licensed mortgage loan originator. You're actually joining the team here at USA Mortgage and becoming a part-time employee. You are the mortgage loan originator of record. So you are the LO on that loan application, on that file from start to finish. That being said, we're not expecting you as the agent to do any of the heavy lifting. That is why we pair you with what we call as a production partner. So it could be a Jeff, a Shawn, or someone on their team. And they're really doing all that heavy lifting for you. They're running a US or ordering credit. They're, coordinating, getting documents from your client, et cetera. So,
and I know, Shawn, you probably got a question because I see you writing stuff down, but I want to touch on a couple of things you just mentioned. So number one, you have to get your license. You have to get your mortgage license.
Correct.
And two, it's not the expectation that as the real estate agent, although you can be dual compensated here, you're essentially going to be teamed up with a licensed loan officer who is really going to continue to do the same things that they've always been doing. But you as the agent are now listed as the loan officer on the 1003. So that can obviously present potential advantages to your clients who know, obviously give that comfort level. I'm sure maybe there's some disadvantages as well. But just to be clear on both of those two things.
Yes, that is correct.
Got it.
And so on the agent side, the licensing, because we've seen it to be the largest barrier to entry to this. And everyone, it sounds great to start making more money. Everyone wants to make more money, but like, okay, now what do I got to do? Go ahead and go through the process of getting a mortgage license, because everyone's went through the real estate fun part of that. But let's educate them on the loan officer side.
Yeah. So you're absolutely right. The biggest barrier to entry here is the amount of work that's required on that agent's side. So, at a high level, what that looks like, if you're interested in moving forward, you're filling out an application link that comes into my team here at our headquarters in St. Louis. We'll review that and make sure that we're good to move forward. And then essentially from there, we're scheduling what we call as a welcome call. And that welcome call really is to walk through the process from start to finish. A lot of what I'm talking about right now, but also, talk through expectations, answer questions they have, as well as go over any resources that we have available to you, as well as additional resources that could be purchased to help you complete your pre-licensing education, to help you better prepare for the final exam. Once we've done that, we give you all those resources, and we've partnered with pretty much every major course provider that's out there. We have a few that we recommend over others, but you'll get those resources, test preps, flashcards, whatever that may be that helps you focus on that education. Once you've completed the exam, that's when you can actually become a employee of USA Mortgage. So we would send out what we call as a final offer, have you join the team. And then we do have additional training that we put you through just to make sure that we're good from a compliance perspective, but also that you understand the systems that you'll be interacting with on a day-to-day basis. Again, you're not doing that heavy lifting, but we want to make sure that you know what's going on with your clients and with those loans. So we teach you how to use our system as a pipeline manager, to how to, be able to reach out to your production partner to check the status of things.
So if I was an agent right now and I'm raising my hand and putting in my application, the steps would be is we have a call with you and your team. Then I say, okay, let's go down the process. Next would be I have 20 hours of continuing ed that I have to go through. And then whenever
that's initial. That's initial. 20 is the initial, right?
The initial hours is 20 hours. Right. Then I get to take a fun test. And I pass, then I go through the regular NMLS process as far as a credit check and then a background check, and I get my license. Now I can hang it with USA Mortgage. And it sounds like what you're explaining is that I am the licensed loan officer of record, but I have another licensed loan officer behind me doing the heavy lift. So ultimately, I go through a bunch of stuff on the front end just to push potential buyers to a link to apply for a mortgage that is going to be my team member now, but they're doing all the work while I'm doing the real estate stuff. So that sounds like a great process once you get over the biggest hurdle. Let's talk about money. How much am I making on these deals? Because 20 hours, that sucks. Taking a test, nobody likes that. And there's some few do that are kind of weird. But, ultimately I will want this extra revenue source. What am I making?
Yeah. So the way the program is structured is we pay 50 basis points on any conventional loans that close. That 50 basis points, if you want to use, let's say a $500,000 loan, that's $2,500 and origination income that you're able to make on top of your real estate commission. So it's pretty substantial. If you think about it, even if you look at a lower loan amount, that's a pretty substantial amount of money that you weren't previously making before for really not having to do a whole lot of work. Yes, you drove that client through your application link, Maybe you had to assist with some questions or help gathering documentation, but for really not having to do a lot of the traditional mortgage loan originator activities, it's pretty substantial in my opinion.
So let me flip the script on. So obviously this is directed, and we're talking to real estate agents here, but there's a lot of loan officers here in LabCoatAgents, and probably some that are going to watch this both for just wanting to learn and understand what exists in the marketplace, but also some that are probably thinking to themselves, "Oh, great! Now I'm going to lose more revenue to the realtor." And no offense, realtors, but that's how some loan officers think. And there's two different trains of thought on this. So obviously from the perspective of that loan officer, yes, you're giving up 50 basis points, but you're also creating potential opportunity here. So do you want to kind of talk to that on how, for a loan officer, maybe listening to this, thinking to themselves, I hate this idea, kind of, how would you articulate, or how would you share that with them, or how would you respond to that?
Yeah, so I mean, that's definitely a common argument that we see. I like to think about it as, if you weren't previously working with this agent, and every situation like that, it's a no-brainer. Even if you're losing 50 basis points, you weren't getting that 50 basis points to begin with. So there's not really an argument there. But on, giving up maybe 50 basis points on an existing relationship, yes, that can seem like a lot, but I think if you really take a step back and look at that percentage of business that you're getting from that agent, you might see that you're not getting 100%, which I'm guessing is most likely the case. Maybe you're getting 50 or 60% if you're lucky, but by them now becoming an employee of USA Mortgage, obviously they're sending all their conventional loans in through themselves, but most likely now they're going to have government transactions as well that while they can't go through this program, there would still be an advantage to keeping them in the USA family. So that's an opportunity for them to earn. That's an opportunity for them to earn basis points on those transactions as well.
Yeah. As winter brings in something to show daddy, that's awesome. So the ideal agent for this program, if you had people that might be like, okay, I want to go down this road again. As a company, what are we looking for before we allow somebody to go through the process and, invest into their development on this?
Yeah, I mean, we really want to make sure we get the right agents in here. We need someone that is a go-getter, that has that drive and that ambition to really go out there and promote the program. We want to make sure that it's a mutually beneficial relationship. There's really, thinking from the agent's perspective, there's not really a whole lot of point in spending a bunch of money and the time and the energy to go through all this entire process to not ever close a loan. Maybe there was, some other motive behind originally doing that, but those type of relationships really aren't where we see this program growing. We really want to make sure, like I said, that we're finding those that are highly motivated and willing to go out and promote the program.
So basically the players that are actually moving the real estate, because we always talk about the 80-20 rule for realtors and also for loan officers, that the small majority is the one that actually moves the needle. And so we're looking at the folks that are actually doing the transactions. Is there a minimum per year that one of these guys or girls has to put through the system?
Yeah, so we're really flexible on that. Yes, we do put it in our employment agreement that we want to see one transaction every 6 months. However, like I said, we'll work with agents as long as they're working with us. Maybe there's a family situation going on, or whatever the case may be. We just want to make sure that it's not a one-sided relationship.
Okay. And now, Jeff, you talked about, or I think Devin, you talked about qualifying possibly for ESOP. Now, for USA Mortgage, we're an employee-owned company where we can earn shares of the company for retirement purposes. This, you don't qualify automatically just by getting hired as through this channel, but you can qualify. So what are the qualifications for one?
Yeah, it's a unique advantage or benefit that I think sets us apart from several other lenders. But yes, so when you join USA Mortgage, you are able to join in our ESOP. You can contribute, towards that. But as far as becoming investing in that, which is really, I think, what ultimately everybody's looking for, you need to be able to collect up to 11 paychecks out of the year in order to be able to vest in that. So it's quite doable. But again, it's about finding that right agent that's actually out there doing the work that's going to have the transactions to be able to do that.
You could see the excitement that was going on in my household as my 4-year-old came running through because she was so excited to hear about this platform. So she's already working on her real estate license. Now she wants to get her mortgage license as well. So
Fantastic.
So I want to share my screen here for a second too, just kind of walk them through. Now, is it safe to say that we can share this link with this audience? Is that fair? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna show you what we you can potentially take a look at after this. Are you seeing my illumine? Is that what you're seeing now?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Pull this up here like that. Okay. So basically this just summarizes what you've already discussed. Obviously it's just giving more Q&A, kind of just answers to the questions that you might have in regards to this. And by the way, if you're on Zoom here or you are in Facebook, feel free to fire any questions at us if you'd like. Again, we'll put this link in the chat. There is another component to this, and we discussed this off air before we started. It's not my highlight of this. I know, Shawn, you mentioned it, and Devin, I think you kind of agreed with me on this as well. But there is another component where, as a team lead or somebody who brings other people in, there is a kind of a multi-level piece to this. Do you want to explain that, or is that something that maybe we just say that, hey, you can check that out in this web link?
It's probably best to check it out on the website just because it allows you to be able to run your own numbers to really see the true potential with this. But yeah, I mean, yes, there's two main components to the program. One is to be compensated on your personal production, which is really where we tend to focus more of our energy and efforts. However, you can also grow a passive income stream by building a downline, recruiting your friends, colleagues, et cetera, to join in that program.
Awesome. Shawn, anything to add on that?
Yeah, no, I just think that that's a great tool for even just like your small boutique shops, to where the broker owner becomes the top of the downline and gets the agents underneath that want to go through the process to have another revenue stream to try and make more money. Because as you alluded, Jeff, this was a tough past year. This has been a tough Q1. And if we can squeeze out any other dollars anywhere, I mean, why not bring it to market? And if you have a boutique shop that can and does start doing this, and then, the talk starts to where the friends of the other agents or whatever, well, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. And you just start building a downline at some point, it will reap rewards. Now, is it going to happen overnight? No, this is a longer play. But if you want to look at the short term, right in front of my nose, I can make 50 bips on a conventional deal. Okay, I will take it because I was not getting that money prior to this. I was handing it out to one of my favorite loan officers, or I was going somewhere else, or I was letting the client really just dictate where it's at. Now, again, we can't steer, but if you can present yourself in a light to where these people end up going through the team, then you end up earning income off of it. I think it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, one thing I'll add, just because you mentioned boutique shops, but we can do what we call as a team model. We actually don't have it featured on our website, but it is another opportunity of looking at that downline a little bit different. So maybe you are that team leader. If you got a few agents that work with you, we can do a flat downline model to where you're not having to go 7 levels deep. So maybe, you've got those few agents that are doing the bulk of the work, and then you're collecting the override for having recruited them as a part of that downline.
Is this proprietary to USA Mortgage?
There are other lenders out there that have similar programs. We definitely didn't create this first by any means. However, I do feel like we've got the best one out there. So I think you'll see some similar structures. I can't say for sure if ours is how different ours is from everybody else, but yes.
Awesome. And I think, and part of the reason I ask that is because, again, just to be transparent about it, but also to remind realtors and loan officers that, I think it's very important that you obviously align. And, there's no one perfect option out there for anyone, but finding the right partner, whether, again, you're a loan officer or a realtor, that is going to help you support your business and find new creative ways to either grow your business, create new revenue streams, all of the above, right? It's not necessarily just about, and this is the same thing in the real estate space. It's not just about, hey, I have a brokerage and I'm now going to support you in the questions you have on your transactions. It's about aligning yourself with a brokerage that's going to provide you the most value to grow your business. And we believe that you should work with a lender that also provides the same. It's not just about closing loans. It's more than that because it's a relatively even playing field when it comes to just closing loans. So, Shawn, unless you got any other questions, I think this has been good. Again, we'll add the link to the Facebook post. I'm going to go ahead and put it here as well. It is. Let me pull this up for you. I'll put it in the chat. So for those of you that are there, Devin, any parting thoughts or you, Shawn?
Yeah, no, this is a good scratch the surface. And if people want to scratch the itch, then definitely reach out and we'll have just the introductory call with Devin and his team and gauge the interest from there. There is a password, though, to get into that website. So make sure you put that in there as well.
Yes, I will put that in there now. So for those of you that are hanging around here for a second, I'm going to grab the link and throw it in there. And then the password is the name of the platform, which is illumine.
Yep. All lowercase.
Just like that. Awesome. Well, Devin, I appreciate you. We'll probably bring you back and do this from time to time. I think this is going to become much more popular as we continue to head down the path, not just of lack of inventory and high interest rates, but also robots penetrating our industry and kind of removing us from some various levels of our businesses. And so the more that you have, the more tools in your toolbox, I think the more sustainable your career will be. So thank you for sharing with us today. And thank you for those of us. Thanks for those of you that joined us.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.